And it's actually interesting. Kind of the grandfather of DMT research in this generation is a Hungarian psychiatrist named Stephen Zara. He discovered that you had to inject, DMT, for it to be, for it to be active in people. He had swallowed it, in ever increasing doses and found no effect. And then in Budapest in 1956, he injected himself with DMT, and it was active that way. Yeah, and so he emigrated to the U.S. a few years later, and he was probably the most experienced person out there as far as giving people DMT. And we talked on the phone at length uh, just around the time my study was beginning, and I had asked him about, is it possible to give too much DMT? Because I was still trying to figure out what happened with these two volunteers. I couldn't remember anything with that very high dose. And he thought for a second, and he recalled that he had given several people too much DMT. And they really couldn't remember anything other than something frightening. That yeah, let's stop. Yeah, so he was remembering how he had given a couple of people too much DMT, and he recalled that all they really remembered was that something frightening had happened to them, and they couldn't remember the specifics very well. So, sort of, kind of equipped with that extra information, I realized we hadn't really sort of damaged anybody, but just had overloaded their mental circuits at the time, and there was no point in giving those kinds of doses.